It is impossible to say how long ago the very first wish was made and who made it, but history tells us that humans have been making wishes for thousands of years. Is this because humans are hopelessly romantic? Is it because of our faith in something bigger and more intelligent than us? Is it because wishing is magic and magic really works? Or is it something else? As always, Wild One, I encourage you to explore the world and your beliefs in your own way to find your own answers. But here in Glastonbury, there lies the Chalice Well, which is believed by some to possess healing waters. The ancient Celts believed that wells were a bridge between this world and another, the realm of the divine. In European folklore, it was custom to throw a coin or an offering into a well whilst making your wish. Long ago, it was believed that water housed deities, and so the guardians of the wells would grant your wish if you paid them or made them an offering. Though the modern privileged human may forget it, water is still a precious element to be revered, life-giving, life-sustaining, and even capable of conducting electricity. Whether you are more comfortable with science, magic, neither, or both, it cannot be argued that water is something that humans should never take for granted. I believe all witches understand the power of the element of water, but have you ever looked into a wishing well?
What lies under the chalice well? Darkness down deeper I fell. What lies under the chalice well? This is the Pisces, my spell. What lies under the chalice well? Peace, good pilgrim, be well. What lies under the chalice well? Hallowed and healed we dwell.
legends of lemongrass, with its association with the Far East, used in rituals of spiritual cleansing. Whilst it may possess a humble appearance, this straw-like plant has a beautiful aroma of citrus. I believe this plant to be anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant, as well as a diuretic, but in witchcraft it is believed to be capable of aiding the practitioner's psychic powers, whilst also being good for ridding the witch's home of snakes. Now I live in England, so this witch is not too concerned with snakes, so today I am making ginger and lemongrass tea. I find this to be soothing for my stomach, but everyone is different, and I encourage you to always do your own research before trying anything new. Some ingredients can have side effects and should be used responsibly. Although I share what works for me personally and also elements of my spiritual beliefs, this video is not health advice and is for entertainment only. These ingredients could be harmful if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, taking medications, or if you have an underlying condition including diabetes or allergies. So always do your own research and consult a physician before trying anything new. Ginger is a tropical plant growing in many different places and is native to Southeast Asia. Ginger root is widely used in folk medicine and also holds its own myths and legends. For it was said by the ancient Greeks that ginger flowers grew in the location where Demeter's tears had fallen after Persephone's abduction by Hades, and in Hindu folklore, the first ginger plant grew when Lakshmi threw some ginger into the ocean. I am manifesting power in my magical working today. I have always admired the Japanese tea ceremony known as the Way of Tea. Something which we take for granted or rush through during our busy days is made auspicious, spiritual and meaningful. The tea ceremony lasts for several hours, and I remember that when I was a child, a Japanese lady came to our school to gain experience as a teacher. I was very shy, and I remember watching in awe as she carefully prepared and poured us tea. The ceremony was very respectful and traditional, because it is as much about those in attendance as it is about the tea itself. Drinking the tea is an art of practicing tranquility, purity, and harmony. It was truly beautiful, and I remember we learned to bow and to be silent. I love the glassy appearance. It reminds me of childhood days and drinks like lemon barley. Amethyst is a crystal believed to enhance psychic abilities and connection to the third eye and crown chakras. This amethyst was given to me by my mother, who used it for healing practice, so I believe in its ability to help with healing and also with psychic abilities. It is a lovely violet colour and is still naturally rough along the edges, which I admire. Before I ended my personal tea ceremony, I wanted to add some strawberry for a bit of interesting flavour, but also for the delight of seeing the hot pink colour swirling around the lemony water like confetti in a wine glass. A little celebration, and strawberries are said to bring about love, friendship and success. As today's brew is about power, I wanted to balance that with loving energy, for there is nothing wrong with power, provided you use it wisely and bear it with light. There will be times when you cannot feel the magic, when you wonder, has the magic gone, or whether it was ever there at all. With so many people quick to scoff at the thought of magic being real, it will be hard in these moments not to feel sad or perhaps even completely start craving mad. So take heart, wild one, and on these days remember these words: magic is everywhere. No matter your circumstances, your challenges, your struggles, your feelings of being an imposter in this world, you are here. You are made of stars. You are light and love and creativity, and you have a right to be here. Wild one, do you still remember when you saw the world through the eyes of a child? Confetti thrown from fairies and elves, crossroads that go where you cannot tell. A witch's house made from spells and enchanted glades of fairy bells. Tasseomancy, or reading tea leaves, has been an art for centuries, possibly dating as far back as 3rd century AD in the East. In the Western world, tea leaf reading was popular with the Victorians, who had keen interest in spiritualism and divination. I am choosing a cup and saucer for my reading today. I decided upon my antique George Jones teacup, as it is the perfect shape and size, and it's also of a period when tea leaf reading was a source of regular entertainment. I prepared myself some black tea leaves and some hot water. The tea should be black without milk or sugar. I moved the tea in an anti-clockwise motion before drinking almost all of it. I held the teacup in my left hand, as it is custom to do so, and I considered my question. I took care to leave enough water to gently cover the remaining leaves. I swirled the tea 3 times with the shins before upturning the teacup onto its saucer. Here it drained of the water so that I could turn it over and examine the patterns of the contents. With the handle turned towards me as I am the querent, I turned the cup clockwise and let the images materialize from my subconscious to my sight. Immediately, I saw a rabbit, and I believe that this is an omen of new beginnings. As the image was near to the edge of the cup, this indicates it will happen soon. Next, I saw a fish, but the fish was broken. This was a personal message, but I don't mind sharing with you that this was to indicate danger when traversing boundaries in my life. Finally, I saw at the very bottom of the cup a skull. For me, this is similar to the death card in the tarot and signifies a final ending of some sort, and therefore also transformation. Although some might feel fear and see this as a very dark omen, I accept that life comes with its endings and its beginnings. I made a second cup of tea as I had a second question to ask. I saw an image that I knew was related to the Page of Swords. I wonder if you can see if I share my tarot card with you. Can you see what I saw? I have always enjoyed the darker side of folk tales, fairy tales, and museums. I like stories. Humans have told stories since we could communicate, from cave paintings to tattoos, from folklore to song lyrics, religious texts, artwork, tarot cards, and runes. In all things we find hidden tales. Although the apothecary is still new in its creation, I've made good progress since it first arrived. Just like a library holds books, so too the apothecary holds artifacts, talismans, and treasures. I want to share some of their stories with you. The surface of the apothecary is my altar space, with each object holding its own energy and purpose. This cloche contains a very large piece of carnelian, as well as some smaller pieces. I like that it is open on the surface so that the energy of the crystal is accessible to me. I only adorn this lapis lazuli ring when dressing myself for magical workings. With its flecks of pyrite, lapis takes on the hue of the night sky and has been prized by the ancient Mesopotamians and Egyptians. Lapis was used in the pharaohs' tombs to help their soul pass safely to the afterlife. This feather came from Avalon and was handmade. A lady told me it came with the spirit of a woman attached to it, but that is not what I believe. I use it as a way to connect to the element of air, and usually for moving energy, to dispel it and for cleansings. This sweet sugar bowl looks like a little apple covered with stars. It is an antique that I found, and I use it for storing wishes. Wishes are witchcraft of a sort, because they involve setting your intention. When you make a wish whilst blowing out your candles on your birthday cake, you are really making a spell using the element of fire. A technique of candle magic is to write a petition and then incorporate this into your spell. So one of the most important aspects of making a wish come true, or any spell for that matter, I believe, is to know how to forget about it once it's done. So mote it be. I therefore store some of my petitions safely in this wishing jar, which is made of lead and therefore very protected. This little treasure was given to me very synchronistically by my best friend, who knew nothing of the apothecary, nor that I had been bottling strawberries, nor that strawberries are symbolic of friendship. She also had no knowledge that the week she was on holiday when she found this mortar and pestle, I had been thinking about buying a new mortar and pestle. She had no knowledge of my theme of dark wooden objects, and she also said it was the very last one on the shelf. As my friend also has very different spiritual beliefs to me, I really felt this was like the universe communicating to me through her gift, giving me a nudge of encouragement. This gift reminds me of the blessing of our friendship, which is now many decades old. My friend said it is hand-painted and is made from olive wood. When I looked this up, I found that olive wood is symbolic of peace and the blessing of the divine. I also found some illustrations from a vintage gemstone book from the 1950s, so I put them in some oak frames as I thought they were beautiful and perfect to decorate this space. The crystals are fluorspar and malachite, very strong colours and patterns. I also have my green woman and a little romantic portrait of Isabella or Mrs. James Gregory by Henry Raeburn. I found this portrait in a charity shop just days after I found the apothecary, and although I did not buy her at first, she stayed in my thoughts, so I went back to fetch her and to bring her home. Lastly, for practical and spiritual purposes, I use my little besom to help me cleanse and clear this altar space before and especially after magical workings. This little broom has a rich history, with pagans like the ancient Celts using them in their rituals to sweep away negative energies. "71% of the Earth is covered with water. The human body contains approximately 60% water. Our affinity with water is clear. Without it, we would cease to exist. Many witches believe in working with the elements. When working with water, a witch considers its attributes. Notice how water flows, how it cleanses, how it shifts and moves to fill available spaces, how it can be manipulated, pushed and pulled by the impact of the moon. Have you ever put your head under the water of a swimming pool? Water distorts sounds and perhaps even shifts your perception. Water is strongly associated with feelings and emotions, particularly that of love. In the tarot, we see this depicted in the suit of cups, but if reading using playing cards, we would read the suit of hearts due to their association with feeling. Water is considered to be a receptive element. Just think how energy is conducted through water. When combined with other elements like air, it can be gentle or fierce. When combined with earth elements such as tea, herbs, or dried flowers, a witch will work in harmony with two powerful elements. There is a well inside all of us, depths of feelings from this lifetime, and perhaps also through the ocean of our ancestry and DNA. How much of how you feel is born from your own experiences in isolation? How might your feelings about things be influenced by all those who came before you in your bloodline? We have all been carried in our mothers' bellies, surrounded by our amniotic fluid, immersed in the waters of the womb. We were once part of a whole other person, and they were once part of their mother, and so on. If water is receptive and we are 60% water, then how much of how you feel is inherited through the energies and connectivity of this powerful element? Next time on Wild Wish, I share some of my thoughts about working with my ancestors, whom I believe are a source of wisdom and guidance. Because I believe that we are all connected through energy, I will also share some of my work to send healing back to my family through my ancestral line. I also share my experience of candle magic and working with fire energy. But for now, Wild One, I send you wild wishes to wherever you are. Like, if you like, and subscribe if you vibe.